Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live episode. And it is the 1st of October, the official 31-day countdown to the spooky season with a goose. The goose.
The goose. Sounds like you're skipping ahead to Thanksgiving.
I am. I went straight from ghosts to gooses. But ghosts and ghouls will be out. Candy will be spread upon the world. And cruise passengers, of course, will be frightened by clowns.
Yes.
You know how that goes. It is that time of year where you're going to start to see extra cruise comments about make Halloween decorations go away. Don't let people wear costumes. I am frightened of Barney the dinosaur. And all of that kind of good stuff.
Disney Imagination is here. Sheikah's back. Welcome back, Sheikah.
Welcome back.
Loved all the pictures.
And we are going to be sharing some of those pictures tonight with everybody. I've got them all queued up and ready to go because they were very awesome pictures of your trip to Europe.
Linda is here. Welcome, Linda. Hello. First time here. Well, welcome, Linda. Great to have you with us.
Yes, definitely. Boy, I am having tongue-tied issues tonight. Well, that'll make it a good, fun show. We'll give everybody a chance to hop in, chance for everybody to say hi. We'll jump into some of the cruise news and some of the interesting stories going on out there in the cruising world. Because I have a couple of interesting things, I think, to share tonight. You know, as far as that goes, and some cool stuff I've come across this week. But we are 39 days away from our next cruise. So 39 days away from MSC Seaside. The sea ship sailing out of Galveston on November the 9th. So that'll be interesting as that gets ready to come up. But I guess...
Like the Halloween decorations. Sheikah likes the Halloween.
Yeah, that's actually Tiffany's purse. In case y'all are wondering. That's actually her purse that comes out this time of year. And she carries around a Mickey pumpkin head for a purse. So, yeah.
Yep. Hey.
Nellie is here.
Hi, fam.
Welcome to tonight's show.
Linda says, I'm on November 9th cruise.
Then we will definitely be seeing you on board the ship. If you see us roaming around, yell, hey, Tiffany, because I am 3/4 of the way deaf and probably will not hear you. And then I look like a rude jerk because people call my name and I have no clue what was ever said. So please call Tiffany. I swear I'm a nice person. I really just didn't hear half of what you said. So.
Very true.
Tiffany is my official translator.
Linda's giving a thumbs up.
Or, I like to put that out because I think if people call my name, I don't hear half the time of what they say. Or I say what a lot. Like I'm not paying attention. And that's actually not the case. Tiffany has said multiple times, they make hearing aids. And I say, what?
Nellie said, Saturday going to be on Mariner. Awesome sauce. That's exciting.
Well, yeah, I'd like to be going on a cruise on Saturday. Instead, we got to go.
No Haley?
Look, you're doing this all wrong. Okay. Put sad faces after that.
Yeah, not exclamation.
Yeah, what exclamation?
Caps.
Put sad faces after. Trust me, that's better for your health.
Yes. Sheikah says, I saw the seaside, or was it the seashore in Florence?
Yes.
It's a sea ship.
It's a sea ship. We're just going to go with that. It's the MSC, one of those sea ships.
Yeah.
That's what you saw, and we're going on. Maybe it's the same sea ship.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to talk about some of the Seascape. There we go.
We'll get it right.
See.
Nellie said, this is my non-judgmental casino cruise, and she is not here.
This goes into replay, right? Put sad faces.
Sheikah said, Nellie, don't get in trouble.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to talk about a quick change from Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages, the adults only cruise line. They've done a little shakeup, I guess, with their pricing. they are introducing a 3-tier pricing setup. And with each tier, you know, the more you pay, the more you get. Which, I don't know, if you kind of look at it, and I'll throw up the chart here. That way everybody can have a chance to see this. Let's see. But here's going to be the Virgin Fare choices. And it kind of explains it. You got your standard cabins, your rock stars, and then the different categories within each one, what it's going to include and what it's not going to include. This is also over on the Facebook page if you want to spend a little more time looking at this. I think this has some possibilities, though. You can actually, if you don't need as much, you don't need as fast a Wi-Fi, you're not going to have a bar tab and things like that. This can, yeah, it really is a lot, which is why we're just kind of throwing it up there real quickly. But it's all, basically it comes down to 3 tiers: your basic, your middle, your high. The more you pay, the more you get. You know, you get to make dining reservations earlier the more you pay. We'll see how that plays out. It always kind of expected that Virgin was going to tweak some of their stuff as they went along. So, and you know, not to offend anybody that has kids, but let's hope that's not one of the things they're ever considering. Look, I have a weird shadow around my neck tonight.
It's because we have the overhead light on. We don't normally.
Oh,
have the
yeah.
overhead
You want to hit
light
that?
on.
Hit that switch. I was wondering where this weird. There we go. That's a lot better. Now that shadow went away.
We don't normally have the overhead light on.
The chart is too much to look at.
Nellie says management actually put that out there thinking it wasn't going to cause confusion.
It's actually way more. The chart is way more confusing, I think, than it really is.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they really did overcomplicate that chart when it's really just kind of bottom, middle, high.
Yeah. Cruising Chris M is here. Welcome. He says, Nellie, not much better or easier to see in person either.
Yeah, there's just it's a lot. But if you are planning on going on Virgin Voyage Cruise, it does give you a couple of different options. Now, one subject I know that, and experienced cruisers, it's really not affecting them, but for a lot of new cruisers, those that have upcoming cruises, there has been a lot of questions like, what is a government shutdown going to do and affect my cruise? And the honest and truthful answer is, yeah, nothing. Customs and Border Patrol, the ones that get you in and out of port like that, they're essential. They're considered essential. They're still going to be going to work. Cruise ships are still going to be going in and out. We're not going to see cancellations, itinerary changes, anything like that. So nothing to worry about. If you have an upcoming cruise, I would say that it's going to have little to zero effect on cruising as far as that goes. So anybody that's new to cruising, don't stress that one out at all. Let's see. Carnival Cruise Line, they put out their Dancing with the Ships news today, and it was extremely, extremely underwhelming. The only real big change that they even put out this week at all was the Carnival Venzia is moving from Port Canaveral right down the block to Miami. That was their big Dancing with the Ship news this week, which, like I said, underwhelming at best.
Mm-hmm.
So we still haven't heard about some of the other ports that people have been waiting to hear about. 2 more weeks. It seems to be about every 2 weeks that they're actually putting a lot of that information out there. All right, everybody's still saying hello.
Yeah.
That's like the theme song to Love Boat.
Who did you just say was moving? Who's moving?
The Venzia. The Carnival Venzia, if I'm saying that right, is moving from Port Canaveral to Miami. That's it. So, and that's, I mean, those ports are, they're so close down there. Does it
make that big of a difference?
Make that much of a difference between really those 2 locations?
Yeah. Sheikah's waiting to see if they bring a big ship to the West Coast.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear on several ports: New York, Mobile, the West Coast. Carnival's really just kind of dealing that out just as utterly and slowly as they can. And I thought, maybe we'd at least get a little more today. Nope. It was, I guess it's good to know, but fairly underwhelming.
Nellie says, Sheikah, you have royal bigger ships.
Well, maybe she wants to cruise the Carnival bigger ships, though.
Yeah.
So now I did come across something pretty interesting this week. And I want to be upfront here. I have no part of this. I'm not sponsoring it, anything like that. It's just I came across it and I think it's really cool. At least, but I'm a cruise nerd, so maybe that's part of it too. But Emma from Emma Cruises, she has partnered up and has created an app. And this app is called, I had to look at the paper real quick, the Cruise Globe. So I got it right. The Cruise Globe. It's a free app you can download. And I did post about this over on Facebook, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it up here real quick. And this is just some screenshots that I took from it. But it's super interesting, I think, because I put in all of our cruises and it lets you know we have cruised 36,746 nautical miles.
Wow.
Now, a nautical mile, just in case, I actually looked this up today. A nautical mile is slightly longer than a regular mile. A nautical mile is about 1.15 miles. And it has to do with the minutes longitude. It's more accurate due to curvature of the earth for ships. But yeah, so we've sailed 36,746 nautical miles. We spent 121 days at sea. We've done 21 cruises, 19 different ships, 5 different cruise lines. We've been to 8 countries, 23 ports, and 1 continent. And then on the map, and I just took a screenshot of Galveston, Mobile, and Florida. And, it takes, once you put your cruise in, you can only do past cruises. You can't do any future cruises with it yet. She says that's coming, but this is all past cruises, and it takes the actual historical information from the ship's path that it actually took and posts on the map. And this just has all of them that left that area up there at once. But yeah.
Nellie says we've been to Cozumel 985 times.
Yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of well, it does say right here on it, we have been to Mexico 23 different times. I'm sure that counts all of the Mexicos in there, but yeah, we have been to Mexico 23 different times. But it's, if you like cruising and just want to see how far you've gone and the routes you've taken, it's free to use. Honestly, I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Emma over at Emma Cruises. I think it's neat. I like it. I'm going to use it and continue to use it just for the fun. It keeps track of everything you've ever been, where you've gone, all the routes and everything that you've taken. So I think it's a pretty neat little idea.
Sheikah says, I need 20 days to become diamond, but I think my husband would not be happy if I tell him we need 3 7-day cruises between December and May 31st.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I've been to Cozumel 9. You know what? I like Cozumel.
Nellie says, Sheikah, did you ever get those 2-time or 3-time offers? Bob is here. Hey, Chris and Tiffany and High Seas Cruisers. Texas Cruiser is here. Welcome, Rick. Welcome, Bob. And we're all caught up.
Okay, and we are all caught up. So just jump back what I was saying. Yeah, if you get a chance, you want to just spend some time playing with it. Free app to download called the Cruise Globe. It's a super cool, nifty idea. Created by a cruiser for cruisers, which is one thing I really like. I said, we have no part of it, no sponsor, no nothing, but we definitely reach out and support other cruise content creators. And I happen to like Emma's stuff. So I think she's a really great creator. So that is super awesome. And then our one last big thing today, of course, Sheikah, who is back with us this week, has been having a great time over in Europe. She had to post many, many pictures over on Facebook to let us know what a good time she was having.
Which we appreciate. Thank you. They were awesome.
Yeah, but did she really have to put underneath each and every picture, haha, look at me, suckers? I mean, was that really necessary? Maybe that's only what I saw on my end.
That's all you saw.
That's all I saw was look at me, suckers. You stuck at home. So
Texas Cruiser said, thanks to Tiffany's hummingbird recipe, I have a hummingbird infestation. That's awesome. Mine disappeared.
Does happen too. Yeah, well, that's because Tiffany feeds them for like a week and then just hopes that But I do definitely want to share these pictures with you guys here that Sheikah sent to us. They're just amazing. I know Sheikah said I don't take really good pictures, so these look like really good pictures to me. I mean, just wow. Yeah, that's really all you can say about this. And if this kind of pictures and stuff doesn't make you want to go over and do some traveling around in Europe, you're crazy.
Just a history. How long have those buildings been there and those cobblestone streets? And
some of these buildings and streets have been there longer than we've been a country. Yeah. Definitely a lot of history. I'm always up for some pizza. I bet you could get a really good pizza. So, but yeah, just wanted to throw that up there with you guys so you guys could take a look at that, at some of the really awesome pictures that she put up there for us.
Nellie says cruising is great, but Sheikah beats us all being immersed.
True that.
Yes.
True that. And that's essentially about all of the actual cruise news we have this week. Other than that, it was fairly quiet.
Yeah.
Of course, we know that there has been. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you for sharing those pictures with all of us.
Absolutely.
It gives everybody a chance to kind of see what they can look forward to in their future travels. So, and that's super, super important.
Nellie said, I had a friend that lived in a 350-year-old house in Germany.
Yeah, older than our country. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that is absolutely awesome. Now, of course, we know we've had a lot of itinerary changes going on with hurricanes and weathers and tropical storms and things like that. And that is just normal for this time of year. Got a little bit longer in hurricane season, and then we'll hop on out of that. But yeah, I mean, that's to be expected when those storms and stuff are over there. So it's the risk you take when you cruise in hurricane season. And not to be a total jerk off about it, but if you don't like it, don't want to risk it, don't cruise during that season. Just don't.
Yeah.
Because it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it got us this year already. So you do what you do and you move on. And remember, just because the cruise line changes ports, moves their itineraries, has to skip a port over hurricanes and stuff like that, they don't owe you a bunch of money. There's no compensation as a general rule because they missed a port. You get back port fees, taxes, and any excursions that you book through the cruise line. That's all the cruise lines owe to people, because I know that seems to be the newest thing. Compensation. Any little slight, any little inconvenience, you go out on a cruise and it rains and you think you owe compensation because water fell from the sky. Yeah, so
go have fun in it. That's the best time to use the pools because nobody else is in them.
As long as there's not lightning.
As long as there's not lightning.
As long as there's not
20-foot waves.
Now, in the case of the people there are some exceptions to the rule, Nellie, and I think that could be one of them right there. That if you book a Bahamas cruise and you go nowhere near the Bahamas and instead you go all the way up to Canada, that's different. There are, of course, exceptions to every rule. If your entire itinerary relocates, that's a whole different cruise than what you booked versus skipping one port.
Yeah.
So there's always an exception to that rule. And I think John Heald said it best the other day. You know, one port, no. A little bit of rain, no. We change your entire itinerary, yes. And that's pretty accurate, I would say.
So Sheikah says her dream is to live in Florence for a couple of months. I like that. That would be awesome.
I'd like to bum around Europe for a couple of months.
Yeah. Molly is here. Welcome, Molly. Me and my husband love you both and what every cruiser wants.
Well, then check out this coming Saturday one. Now, I tried some new stuff. Not as perfect as I wanted it to be, but I tried out some new stuff. Y'all can check it out on Saturday. Give me your opinion. If it goes over well, we may continue to try to experiment with that type of videography. But I tried to have a lot of fun with the one on Saturday. Hope you guys will get a real kick out of it.
Nellie says, I don't know. I think I would prefer Canada, but I haven't cruised that way. I'd love to go back to Canada.
Well, this time of year, isn't this about, I don't know if we're too late in the year for that good fall, the trees have turned color. I don't know if they've already, all the leaves have already, I don't know.
About mid through that. I don't know. I know North Pole, Alaska's getting snowed in. So
we're Santa Claus there. I'm pretty sure it's snowing there.
Yeah.
But I mean, this Canada could be, I wouldn't, me personally, I'm with Nelly, that if I booked the Bahamas and they said, cool, going to Canada, the only caveat I would say to that is if I was expecting to be really warm in the Bahamas and it's cold in Canada, then I would kind of be like, bro, I packed all shorts because I'm notorious for not packing pants unless I know it's going to be cold. So that part would get me. But I mean, if they move me from Bahamas to Canada, I really wouldn't be all that pissed off either. I'd be like, cool, I haven't gone this way, except for the pants part.
Sheikah says we got torrential rain in Sorrento, thunder and lightning. I bet you still had a good time though.
Yep.
Nellie said getting the last minute notification is wrong, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, because if they need to alter packing, cruise, and I get weather's finicky like that. You can't always necessarily give a whole lot of forewarning because I think they watch it up until the last minute and see if are they actually going to have to change it. I mean, how many times have you gotten all the way to the cruise port, ship's fixing the dock, and the captain's like, oh, nope, unsafe, bad weather. And they roll right out. I mean, come on, we saw Coco Key and had to leave. We got as far as Costa Maya on the Prima, saw it, left. So I think they wait a lot to the last minute. But yeah, if they're going to do entire itinerary changes, I think they should try to give as much notification, at least give them a chance to change that up.
Yeah.
Give people a chance to say, no, I didn't really want to go there.
Cruising Chris says, didn't NCL just change the Bermuda cruise to Canadian cruise?
I think so. I honestly haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to the itinerary changes because they're just kind of expected. And when as soon as you see that weather coming into that area, you know they're coming. You know, it's sad that it happens. It's unfortunate that it happens. But a lot of the other places that are close by they even could go to, a lot of times they're booked up. There's just no room for the ship.
Cruising Chris M says, I am doing a Canadian East Coast cruise on Holland America in July, the 250th Stars and Stripes cruise.
Awesome.
I'm not even going to attempt to say that name.
Zooterdam.
Yeah, that on July 4th. Nellie said, isn't Tony doing that too? Cruising Chris said, maybe.
What is the dog growling at?
I don't know.
I don't either. Did it show thunderstorms on my cruise next week in Cozumel and Costa Maya? It could be. I mean, I kind of enjoy a good thunderstorm while we're out on the cruise. I don't necessarily want it on a port day when we have a good excursion planned or something like that, but you know, a sea day with a little rain and a little thunderstorm. What do you think about that?
Yes.
I mean, that's a good day. What are you growling at?
He's not sure.
Are you just growling to growl? Okay.
Chica says, I would love to do an Eastern Canada cruise.
Yeah, that's definitely on our bucket list. Definitely want to do one of those fall cruises where the leaves change color. That's always been the one that I want to do because, being here in Texas, we don't get a whole lot of leaf color changes, not where we're at.
Yeah.
They go from green to brown and they fall out of the tree. It'd be nice to go someplace where they turn orange and red and different colors like that.
James is here. Hey, Chris and Tiffany and all High Seas cruisers. Hello from Northeast Indiana.
Well, I take that to mean you have completed the move from Ohio over.
Molly says, for me, anywhere is fine with me. I'm on a cruise. Woohoo! I'm the same way.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that is the absolute truth. Any cruise is better than being at work, and any cruise is better than no cruise. So
Bob says, I think it rains in Cozumel every time we visit. I think it's only really rained on us once.
no, but we have the nasty habit of getting rained on almost every embarkation.
Yes.
For some reason, when we go to Galveston on embarkation day, it rains on us. And it rained on us on this last one. It was the day before.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always get a little rain in Galveston on embarkation. It's almost become a cruise tradition. And if it doesn't rain, I'd be more concerned we're about to have a less than stellar time.
Yeah. Nellie says, Bob, we get rain every sail away. So Nellie has that problem too.
Yeah.
Attila says, I'd love to cruise to Canada. Nellie says, Pup is happy to be picked up. Yes, he is.
James,
yes, finally have made the move to take care of my mother. Awesome. I bet she's glad to have you there.
Yeah, and at least you got all that moving stuff done, over with, and out of the way. Because let's be honest, moving sucks.
Nellie said, you guys can talk harmony at 79 sea days. I don't know if I could do 79 sea days. That's one cruise? Cruising Chris says, James, I am right across from you in Northwest Indiana. Nellie says, great job, brother James.
Yep. Yeah, no, glad James got over there. Everything is taken care of. He's there to help out his mom. And so that is super awesome. And that ends my cruise news. All right, it's been a short video today. Bye. I'm done talking. Tiffany, take it away.
James says, hey, Cruising Chris. Yes, I'm about 40 minutes north of Fort Wayne. I'm not real familiar with.
I haven't even been through Indiana in years and years and years and years and years. I can't recall, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been places like Indiana and Ohio and stuff like that, but it's been so long, I don't really remember it.
Nellie said, I was joking, playing off the being on a cruise with bad weather as being better than being at work. But that's dang near Michigan. Texas Cruiser said, got that right, Nellie. Any cruise is better than being at work. Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much anything is better than being at work, let's be honest. Chair napping at home is better than being at work.
I'll take your word for it.
About not working?
About chair napping.
Well, I'll tell you what. So in all fairness, I will now stay home every day.
No, you won't.
And chair nap.
No, you won't.
You work, and then at the end of the week, we'll compare notes.
Molly says 5 hours from Galveston, Texas.
It puts you in about our neck of the woods somewhere. We're about 3.5 hours out of Galveston.
Sheikah said, that is right, Your Highness. Somebody must have the purple crown.
Yeah, you have to look on that one to see who's getting the purple crown. Okay, yeah, 25 minutes from Galveston.
Cruising Chris says, I am about 40 miles south of Chicago, right across the border in Indiana. Now, I've been to Chicago, but it's been a long time.
Oh, Rick. I can see the cruise port from my living room.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is. I wish wish I could see the cruise port from my living room.
I'll turn it on the TV.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking out the window, not out the freaking,
Bob says, "Yep, 4 hours to Galveston." James says, "Oh, Chris, not too far."
Uh,
Nellie has the purple crown.
it's always Nellie.
Yeah.
Nellie's the king of the purple crown. So, who else has got something interesting going on out there? Tiffany got something interesting?
Who else has cruises going on? We know Nellie's going to be on Mariner on Saturday.
All you care about is going to Disney.
Well, yeah.
That's your absolute focus, is how quickly can you get to Disney.
Linda says she's about 4 hours from Galveston. Texas Cruiser said it's hell to live so close to Galveston. I see the ships all the time.
Yeah, we all feel your pain.
James said, "Yes, Rick, rub it in."
Yeah, we feel all your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just imagine. Oh God, not cruise ships again. There they are. The horror, the horror.
Wow. Molly said, "Nellie, I am so upset because Princess is leaving Galveston." Yes.
I do think Princess is gonna come back. I think this is going. Let me say that. I'm hoping it's going to be a temporary departure.
Tilla says, "I'm 1 hour from there."
7 if you have to go through the Houston traffic, down the I-45. But
Yeah. Sheikah said, "2 of my kids are going to be on Baja cruises and they are not on the same ship."
in all fairness, if my brothers were going, I'd pick a different ship too.
Linda said she's in West Marble Falls.
Been through there many, many, many times. Driving between Fort Hood and back down to San Antonio. I used to go up 281 and travel through Marble Falls a lot. The one thing, of course, I really remember is the bridge that goes over the river. But
Ellie said, "For you Texas folks, I am Fort Hood area." Yes. Bob says, "I'm not sure I could deal with seeing those ships and not being aboard." Yeah, that'd be a big dilemma.
yeah, you know what? That's actually a very valid point. Maybe being a couple hours away, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. If I saw them every day, maybe it would bother me more that I wasn't on those ships.
Molly says, "Me too." Nellie, Linda, I love Sweet Berry Farms like all do around here. Okay, now I'm going to ask, what is Sweet Berry Farms? Is that a place where you can go and spend the day and have fun?
Or pick berries.
Or pick berries?
I think that's the pick berries place.
Well, I mean, it kind of sounds like that, but I've never heard of it, so I don't know.
If it's the berry picking place.
Linda said, "That's how I go to Fort Worth." Nellie says, "I go for the pumpkin patch." Attila says, "Well, yeah, I had 1 hour plus for 45 traffic."
10 hour on paper, 3 days in reality. Yeah, the strawberry picking place.
Okay.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Nellie said they have a Texas Maze. James says, "Well, you all rub it in. I'm about 19 hours from Galveston, boo." But only about 5 hours by plane.
19 hours isn't bad. It's just an afternoon ride.
Yeah. And a day. And a night.
No, it's 19. That's less than 1 day.
Not by much.
True. Depends on how fast you drive.
Not by much.
That's because you're driving. By me, yeah, we'll be there in a minute.
Nellie said, "Yeah, I'm leaving Friday at 10:30 just to try and hit."
Whew.
Light Houston traffic. Good luck with that. Sheikah says, "I am 3 hours from Long Beach." That ain't bad.
3 hours from a cruise port is pretty nice. If that's your go-to cruise port. It's nice that you can just get up, get there, get on the ship, and then when you're done, just a couple hour, boom, you're back home. You're unpacking. It's a lot nicer than a long flight home, a long drive home. So yeah, it is a huge plus if you're, just a few hours from a cruise port that you can use.
Molly says, I have 38 day and counting. Well, that's not bad at all.
No, that will go by quickly.
Yes, especially because it's through the holidays. We just came into spooky season, and you're going to blink and it's going to be the new year. So there goes.
Yeah, by the time you get Christmas, New Year's, boom, now you're in 2025 and counting that down.
Yes. Which cruise are you going on, Nellie? And the rest of our curious minds would like to know. Bob says, Nellie, save me a spot. We are boarding on Mariner on the 27th.
Nice.
James says, yes, Sheikah, I'm looking at doing a West Coast cruise later next year.
That's still on our bucket list. Our bucket list just gets longer and longer and longer.
Yeah. We haven't hit the lottery, so it's not getting any shorter.
I think Tiffany's a lottery cooler too. So
yes. Regal Princess.
Ooh, nice.
I like Princess.
I know you like Princess, which is why I'm hoping Princess comes back to Galveston. But what you like about Princess is Princess Plus. Besides all the other Princess stuff, but you like Princess Plus. Yeah. You like just the fact you can go get as many copies as you want.
Yes. Nellie said Molly is ushering Princess out. Sheikah said, I am about 35 days away from my next cruise to the American Riviera.
Yeah, you're right around the same time as us. We're sitting about 39, I think. 38, 39. So we should be out and about roughly about the same time. Not the same spots, but same time.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Really looking forward to it. Really want to get out there and try MSC. Give a good, or let's say an honest review. An honest review on MSC.
Nellie says, let Rick tell you, Princess will be back.
I do happen to agree and think that the Princess will come back. I think they had success here. Their ships were full. They were doing good business here. I think they did some ship shuffling to fill in some other markets. And Galveston just got the short end of the stick. I think as they continue to put out new ships, eventually one of them is going to meander their way back here to Galveston. So I don't think they're gone forever. I think they did too well here.
Yeah.
Time will, of course, tell if that's true or not, but I do think they will come back. I think they'd be silly not to.
James says, mine too, Chris, but family comes first. Then I will be cruising as much as possible. Nellie said, I wish I lived with Rick's eternal optimism. Molly also loves the plus plan on Princess. I love that plan. I really do.
Well, Carnival's begun experimenting with bundles where you can bundle, drink packages and Wi-Fi and things like that. I think maybe they are starting to see the light at the end of that tunnel and maybe everybody doesn't see it the way I see it, but I really like the structure that Princess does it in. You don't have to get any of it if you don't want to. You can get a basic fare. You can buy the stuff individually if you want to. It really gives cruisers more of a choice, or you can buy Princess Plus, or you can buy Princess Premier. You really choose for yourself how you want to bundle it. And for people that like us that don't even normally get an alcoholic drink package, Princess Plus was still worth it. We still took full advantage of that, in my opinion. So I think it's a really good option. And with Carnival testing out bundles, I think they're starting to see that light that there's. I got the lighting all kinds of wrong in this room. There we go. I was like, why is the screen so dark?
We're getting darker.
Yeah. I think Carnival's starting to see that same light, and I think we'll start to see more of that coming from Carnival in the future. It's taken Carnival a long time to even put out the zero proof package. People have been asking for it forever, and Carnival finally did that. I think they're going to finally start creeping into the bundle options. They're running tests on it right now because it's only for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And they're basically seeing if people are actually interested in it.
Attila says, I keep seeing the offers for some neat Alaska cruises sailing out of San Francisco on Princess. They are longer than 7 days. That's the only problem. That might be a nice one to go on.
We saw some of those. I want to say they were like 10 days. I think when I looked at them last time, they were roughly 10-day sailings out of San Francisco. But I would be really interested in that because it's sailing from San Francisco. We have not done that particular port. And I wouldn't mind seeing some San Francisco ahead of time. Go in a day or two ahead of time like we did for Seattle and check out San Francisco. We had a good time in Seattle.
Yes.
A little pricier than we were used to. But we still had a good time. Yeah, and culture is a little different, but it was still a good experience.
It was a really good experience. We got to see the gum wall before they took that apart.
Before they scraped all the gum off, exactly. So it would be interesting to go see San Francisco, Golden Gate, Alcatraz, the fact that it's, like this, big roller coasters of streets.
Like Seattle.
Ride them, what are the streetcars that go up and down. So there'd be a lot of good opportunities to have fun in San Francisco and then board a ship from there and sail underneath the Golden Gate Bridge on the way out.
Yep.
Oddly enough, that is a cruise thing I really want to do. I want to sail underneath a big bridge. I don't know why, but I want to.
Because you want to stand on top and go, are we going to hit?
Oh, yeah. When we sail under a bridge, I will be on the absolute tallest passenger deck that I can be on just to see how close it feels like we get. Oh, yeah. I know you. You'll be down on deck one.
I don't like going over bridges. I'm not sure about going under them.
There you go.
Molly says, fingers crossed. Rick says, yes, I'm optimistic. Laugh out loud. The port is in continual conversation with Princess. Bob says, I know with Princess leaving, Carnival brought in a fourth ship. Attila says, I hope they come back to Galveston. Sheikah and James are talking about what cruise. Nellie, Attila, I saw a vlog from San Francisco. Nice smaller ship. Linda says, I hope they come back. The one Princess I was booked on got canceled. Oh, that's gotta not be good. James says, yes, Nellie, you have to do what you have to do. Nellie says, Linda, you were caught on Majestic. Is that the one that canceled then?
I think so.
Rick says, Princess may come back after the 6th terminal opens.
Here goes Nellie. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. You're right. Rick's optimism will have Icon 1, 3, and 5 all here at Galveston at the same time.
James says, I'm also looking at a 14-day cruise on Carnival next year out of Galveston.
There is a better than average chance that Tiffany and I will be on that cruise.
Rick says, I am picking up a rumor that the Royal Terminal will be legendary in 2027. Nellie says, Rick, how when it goes to Lauderdale? Is that a new ship? Legendary?
The new one's Legend, yeah.
Linda says, no, it was supposed to be Regal Princess, November 2024. Rick says, James, a 14-day Carnival cruise looks awesome. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, in case anybody, so this is in case anybody else is looking at it, it's going to be, I want to say it's in October of 2026 on the Carnival Dream. It's a 14-night journey cruise out of Galveston, round trip. It's going to be hitting a lot of the Virgin Islands. It does Puerto Rico. It hits all the saints. It was like St. Kitts, St. Martin, St. Thomas. I want to say St. Croix. It's got a lot. It's port heavy over in the Eastern Caribbean. So, and definitely looking at that particular cruise.
Rick says, moves are made ever so often. Nellie, Hero will be Lauderdale bound in 2027. Nellie says, Icon 1 will be here, no newer, as if Icon 1 is old. I think we're all caught up.
Yeah. So this, I don't know. I think we'll know for sure when Royal Caribbean announces it for sure. There has been rumors going on about ships coming to Galveston for a long time. People jump on these rumors, they spread these rumors, and in the majority of cases, these rumors turn out to be not true. Um, there's the only thing that's even remotely true so far about Icon coming to Galveston is that Michael Bailey did say that Galveston is set to have an Icon ship. The port's big enough, the terminal's big enough, and it's a possibility in the future. Other than that, we don't really know nothing. Everything else is hearsay and rumor, like Margaritaville, hearsay and rumor. Princess Cruise Line, are they coming back? Hearsay and rumor.
I hope they come back.
I hope they come back too. I hope we get an Icon. I would still like to get a Margaritaville ship. There's all kinds of things I'd like to get. I'd really, really would like to get a celebrity cruise ship in here. But until the cruise line actually comes out and says, we are doing this, it's a guess. And we were all guessing which ship was going to come from Carnival. I thought it might be the Magic. Some people thought it was going to be the Vista. For whatever reason, some people thought it was going to be the Festival. At the end of the day, it was the Carnival Horizon. Nothing wrong with that. But it's all a guess until it actually comes. We thought for sure Margaritaville was going to go Mobile, New Orleans, Galveston. Sucker went to Miami. Didn't see that one coming. So it's all kind of up.
Bob says that 14-day on Carnival is interesting. My wife said book it, but I'm holding. Molly said we want to try a back-to-back. We keep saying we're going to try one of those. We haven't yet.
I'd be willing to do a back-to-back ship if it was on a cruise. The issue is we try to change cruise ships every single time. We try not to repeat. Is always try to go on a new ship. We've only ever really repeated. Well, I've repeated 2 ships. Tiffany's repeated 1 ship. And the only reason we repeated the Carnival Breeze is because it was a big family cruise on the second time. And we didn't pick the ship. So right now, picking a back-to-back is interesting for us, or it's because what if we get on a ship we've never been on and we don't care for it? Or it's not our favorite. Do we really want to back-to-back them? It would have to be something that we absolutely know we're going to love that particular ship.
Yeah.
Or it would have to be the perfect back-to-back, I think, for us.
James says that one looks awesome. Linda said a 14-day cruise would be neat. Nellie said, well, Bailey said if you are a betting man, Icon class. Rick said the latest rumor is actually from a royal employee. Sheikah said, I would love a 14-day cruise.
What employee? Don't tell me it's Bob down at the cruise terminal. Okay.
Cruising Chris says, Sheikah, I'd like sailing.
And unless Michael Bailey calling you at your house, I don't know that I would necessarily trust that.
Cruising Chris says, Sheikah, I'd like sailing out of Long Beach on Discovery Princess.
Discovery Princess is a beautiful, beautiful ship. We did Alaska on Discovery Princess. I would hop back on Discovery. Or, we've already been on it. We try to change, but that, a sister ship, Discovery was beautiful.
Nellie says, Rick, tons of margarita employees were telling people Galveston, and look what happened. Rick says, Molly, I would love to do a back-to-back. I have booked 2 and had to cancel both. Rick also said, I know, Nellie. Molly says, oh, Rick, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
I will be more than happy to go, damn, Rick was right. And I hope we get it someday.
Yeah.
I've been burned by the rumor mill one too many times. I've jumped on that boat one too many times, been proven wrong one too many times. And so now, just me personally and our channel, we stay away from it.
Nellie's still stirring the pot.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. It's always going to be see what the future types hold. Cruising always changes. Ships move around. Um, it happens every couple years, and so here in another year, we'll be having this exact same discussion as they're rotating for the end of 2027, 2028 season, and God knows what we'll get. But I do think that we're not going to hear really a whole lot from Royal Caribbean until the official date and everything is set for Perfect Day Mexico. I think that's the linchpin.
Rick said I was right about the ship name at least. Yes. Nellie said Galveston has been right 0% on these.
I think there's a joker down there that likes to screw with people's heads. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he goes in and plays with the calendar, throws some random stuff in there, stirs the pot up. It could be Nellie.
Nellie, is it you?
Nellie is the guy that apparently that is jacking with the calendar down there. He's secretly a port employee. He's stirring the pot. This is how he messes with Rick in his off time. That is the rumor I'm going to put out there. I'm starting that rumor right off the bat. It's Nellie.
That's a bad rumor. That's not a good.
He's the one playing with the calendar down there.
Shouldn't be starting rumors.
Oh.
Cruising Chris says, I would take that bet that Galveston will get an Icon class ship.
I would agree with that bet. I think it's going to be a few years. That's my only caveat to that. I don't think it's necessarily going to be anytime soon, and it definitely won't be before they finish the completion of Perfect Day Mexico.
But in the meantime, we can just enjoy the ships they have.
That's true. Harmony is going to bump out. We're going to get Allure's going to come back for a hot minute. Then we're getting Symphony of the Seas. Tiffany, of course, found out that Wonderland was coming off of Harmony, so she's down there shooing it away with a broom. She's told Harmony, get out. She said, you can't come back no more.
Bob says, I don't doubt Nellie is the one playing with the calendar just to poke at Rick.
Right? Does that not just sound absolutely plausible?
Nellie said, I read on Margaritaville Facebook pages and tons of people said employees on ships said Galveston, but Cozumel is not St. Martin, to be fair.
Now, I do think that in the future, maybe we get one of the older ones. But who knows? Honestly, who knows? Right now, if we're gonna, and it's just me, if we're pushing to get a ship we've never had, if we're pushing to get something brand new in Galveston, I'd like to see Celebrity. That is the one that if I had to vote right now, what cruise line do you want to come that's never been here or is not here right now? Celebrity Cruise Lines. Tiffany over here is like, Disney Destiny. Send me the brand new one. I want Mickey in the backyard. Am I wrong in your vote?
No, I said yes.
I'm just checking. Wish, Treasure, Destiny.
Nellie said, I am hacking into the system and putting a random ship so Rick gets excited.
I take that as confirmation of the rumor.
Cruising Chris says, I can see Celebrity going to Galveston.
Yeah. Now, that is one of those rumors that it admittedly is just purely a rumor, okay, that we heard on board a Celebrity cruise on a car while sailing on a Royal Caribbean ship. I heard that rumor. Matter of fact, it was from the captain. He said that there was a possibility of that could happen someday.
Nellie said, when I was on Harmony in January, the captain said Celebrity was coming, but that's that. Bob said, could Celebrity come in when Royal expands their terminal? Molly said, I heard Celebrity is a nice ship.
yeah, that could increase the possibilities when Royal expands the terminal and can take 2 ships at a time. Maybe that's going to be the trigger that makes them want to try it. Who knows? I said it's been spoken by officers on ships, but until they actually do it, it actually happens, they actually announce it. It's just a rumor. And there's so many rumors that go around in cruising all the time.
Mhm.
And everybody, has their hopes, their wants, their dreams, and what they wish cruise lines would do. And then a lot of times the cruise lines come out and just do whatever. And it doesn't always make sense to us. I'm sure it makes sense to them at some level, but it doesn't always make sense to us. I still think putting Margaritaville in Miami in a very crowded space, to me, doesn't seem super logical, but it must make sense to them.
Molly said, I heard Celebrity is a nice ship. Nellie says Celebrity is awesome. Rick said there are a lot of Celebrity fans waiting on Galveston to get one.
Mm-hmm.
Nellie said the Beyond is wonderful. Cruising Chris and I sailed it. Wait, I sailed it. Sorry, Moss had to.
Dang. See, and again, do I think Nelly is the one messing with the calendar? Yes, because he messes with everybody.
JB Ranch is here. Celebrity ship would be awesome. Lots of money in Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
Cruising Chris says, Nellie, maybe they will get the Celebrity Beyond. Sheikah said Celebrity is a great cruise line. Molly says, I have only cruised with Princess.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Love some princess cruises.
James says, I would love to do a cruise on Celebrity. That would be awesome if one came to Galveston.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I think that there's want. I think there's desire. I think cruise passengers would be super excited to jump on it and try it out. Even if Celebrity just comes and tries it.
Mm-hmm.
Plan 4 or 5 cruises, 6 cruises out of Galveston while they're repositioning a ship. Have it swing in, give it a test run, and say, hey, look, it filled up all 6 times. We should do this, and then plan for the future that way. Look at MSC. MSC's first cruise starting on November the 9th. Look how many people right here, just in this chat, are going to be on that cruise.
Yeah.
And we know that there's going to be other content creators from the area that are going to be on that cruise. So it's getting, popular and generating the buzz and all that kind of stuff for an upcoming cruise. Imagine a Celebrity came in.
Cruising Chris M says Miami does offer Margaritaville more port choices than Galveston, but Miami is my least favorite port.
No, yeah, that's true. Sailing from Miami definitely gives them more Bahamas, gives them more Eastern Caribbean, and definitely gives them more port choices because Galveston, on a 7-night cruise is going to be Progreso, Cozumel, Costa Maya, Belize, Roatan, and back. That's your standard 7-night cruise from over here. So, yeah, that part is absolutely true. I don't think them coming over here would have gave them like better itineraries. I just think it would have given them a lot of interest from cruisers. I think their ships would have booked out over here simply for the interest.
Mm-hmm. Nellie says, I feel like if Celebrity comes, it's when Perfect Day comes.
That could be very well what hinges that too.
Rick says that's the timing I'm thinking of.
And I agree with that. I think that the Perfect Day, because remember, they're building the beach club in Cozumel. So you're going to have the Royal Caribbean Beach Club Cozumel. You're going to have Perfect Day at Mexico. I think the combination of those two right there is when Royal's going to step up what they do in the Western Caribbean.
Nellie says, we here in Texas just want to cruise because it ain't for the itinerary. Cruising Chris says, hey, Nellie, I can say I had the Beyond booked. They quit on me. I didn't quit on them. Your puppy's hungry. That's why he's whining.
Oh, and yeah, and while we don't always necessarily have the best itineraries over here, I will say the cruise lines, and they're longer. You got to have longer lengths of cruise to get some of those better itineraries. We are starting to see better itineraries. 14-night going through all of the Saints. That's not bad. Yeah, it's a long cruise, but boy, there's a lot of really, really good ports. We're seeing more down to the Panama Canal. We're seeing more going to the ABC Islands. So if you can do longer cruises, better itineraries are becoming optional even from Galveston.
Mhm.
So at least shows the cruise lines are listening to cruisers saying, we don't mind if they're longer, just go more places than Cozumel.
Rick says, I agree, Nellie. Attila says, I mean, Disney is committed. They're year round now in Galveston. Yes, they are. Bob says, amen, Nellie. Nellie says, still with the same ship, Attila.
So, but all right. I think we are going to get ready to wrap this up for today. Apparently, the dog is getting very hungry and getting very upset. So, before he starts overriding everything here and starts barking and howling, I think we are going to get ready to cut this out for the night.
Thank you, Cruising Chris.
Yeah, thank you. We really, really appreciate it. Tiffany's Coffee Fund is always appreciative.
Molly says, we cruise 7 days or more.
We're up to 9. So I think 14 is going to be the next shot at that.
Nellie says, all right, Moss, I will concede. It was not your fault. Also, all the people on Beyond are having shorter port stops because the ship is broke.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's another joy of cruising. Not everything works all of the time, but good God, if you ran your car 365 days a year and just continue to drive it,
Thank you, Nellie. Y'all know y'all don't have to do that, but thank y'all very much because I will put that to good use for the coffee.
MSC Italian style espressos. Okay, because what have we learned? An Americano is an espresso with hot water. Okay, don't go order an Americano and then complain because it tastes like an espresso with hot water. Okay, we've learned that's wrong.
James says, good night, everyone. Have a good rest of the week.
Yep. All right. So we got some more videos coming out. We got tomorrow's video coming out. The ship tour, Harmony of the Sea ship tour, is going to be Friday. And then, like I said, we have an experimental video for what every cruiser wants on Saturday. It's still what every cruiser wants. I played with it a little bit. So you guys will have to tell me what you think about that or not. But thank you, everybody, for being here. We really, really appreciate it. Had tons of fun, like always. And well, I guess I messed that up. But good night, everybody. And of course, like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everybody.